It's time now for the center stage Twitter debate. And here is the question that we are posing on our show this evening. Has Vaidik managed to convince you about the reasons behind his meeting with Hafiz Saeed? Use the hashtag center stage, add the word agree or disagree and post your responses to us, because this is the one question that is dominating the news agenda all through the day. Has Vaidik managed to convince you about why he went to meet India's most wanted terrorist? Joining us on the center stage Twitter debate tonight, the man in the eye of the storm, Vaidik himself. He's a renowned scholar of Hindi, a very key advisor of Baba Ramdev, the brain trust behind the report on black money, has worked very closely with the current national security advisor, works very closely with RSS think tanks, went and met Hafiz Saeed. What was he doing there? I will introduce you also to our other guests, Sanjay Jha representing the Congress, Sambit Patra representing the BJP, and Bhisham Mansukhani, who's a victim of the 26/11 terror attacks and has really seen what happened in Mumbai from very close quarters. I want to go across first though to Vaidik himself. Mr. Vaidik, you will have one clear, uninterrupted minute, unlike other stations where you were harangued, to explain why you believe that your meeting with Hafiz Saeed was in good faith. Why, sir, should you be meeting India's most wanted terrorist? You are seen as being very close to the RSS, as being a key advisor of Baba Ramdev. Why go and have tea parties with terrorists? Mr. Vaidik, one clear minute, your time starts now.
You see, all this background which you gave is totally unnecessary. You see, my connection with Baba Ramdev and all these things do not matter much as far as foreign policy is concerned. I have been working on Indian foreign policy for the last 48 years and little more. I have been visiting all the neighboring countries for the last 45 years. Most of the presidents, prime ministers and leaders, I have known them personally. And you see, when you know the good leaders, you also know the bad leaders. Even those leaders who are totally undesirable, who are India's worst enemies, they also come across you and you come to know them. So I have been traveling to all these countries, and when I went to Pakistan, I had no intention at all to meet Hafiz Saeed. It was just not in my mind. You know, the Pakistani journalist interviewed me before a day I left from Lahore, and suddenly some young journalist said to me, "You criticize Dahshatgardi and you blame Hafiz Saeed and other terrorists like Haqqani and Fazlullah." I named all these people and I wrote about them in the Indian newspapers. 200 newspapers, Hindi newspapers and other Urdu newspapers, Marathi newspapers, they carry my articles every day. From Pakistan I was writing against these terrorists. So they told me, "Have you ever met Hafiz Saeed?" I said, "No, I didn't meet. I don't know him. I don't have his address. I don't have his telephone number." Suddenly those young boys called him and fixed up my appointment with him next morning. Now people are asking me, why did you not inform the government? Am I the ambassador? Am I the foreign minister? Am I the prime minister of India? I am a journalist. And a journalist...
So you are not just a journalist. If you were just a journalist, then I would have been able to accept what you are saying. You are very closely associated with the ruling dispensation. You worked very closely with the National Security Advisor. You yourself in interviews are boasting of your linkages with Prime Minister Modi. Given your background, what were you doing there? People are asking, why was Vaidik in Pakistan? Now, if for example headlines today were to send a correspondent to Islamabad or to Lahore, would Hafiz Saeed invite that correspondent? Why is he meeting you? Was there some sort of a 1.5 second track, 2-track diplomacy that was taking place? Whose emissary were you, Mr. Vaidik? I think you need to be upright and upfront about this.
Right, right, right. If you have patience, I would explain everything. You see, I have been going to these countries for several decades. People have been interviewing me in the newspapers and on the television channels. Millions of people know me there. Hafiz Saeed also knew me, that's what the journalist told me. He reads my articles, he has heard me on television channels. That is why he took interest in seeing me. Otherwise, who would give an interview to an Indian journalist? Everybody knows.
But did you even do an interview, Mr. Vaidik? This happened on the 2nd of July. Have you recorded your interview? Can we see a copy? Where is this interview?
Oh yeah. It took place in Lahore and I have the full record of the interview. You see, I met Mian Nawaz Sharif. I have kept a record. I have a diary where I have kept record of all my discussions with the intellectuals, the lectures that
I'm asking you only about Hafiz Saeed. Did you record your interview with Hafiz Saeed?
Why don't you?
What did Hafiz Saeed tell you, Mr. Vaidik?
You see, he didn't tell me much in the beginning. I asked him questions. You see, I asked him, how is it that you are committed so many crimes and you are not being punished here? And in India, I told him, everybody hates him. Then he told me that twice I have been exonerated by the High Court of Lahore and the Supreme Court of Islamabad. I said, what happened? Tell me in detail. So he said to me that the Home Minister of Pakistan, Asif Ali Zardari government and that party's power, he said that Rahman Malik was against me and he arrested me due to the American pressure. I said, why this sovereign government is so much of pressure? It is under so much of pressure. He says they needed money and America won't release its money unless they arrest me.
Vaidik,
so
you almost seem now to be sympathetic towards Hafiz Saeed. What you're saying almost seems sympathetic towards Hafiz Saeed. He's India's most wanted man. He's got the blood of the martyrs of Mumbai on his hands, Mr. Vaidik.
No, didn't I say it to him? I had the gumption to tell him what you are telling me. I told him that the people, innocent people whom you have killed, their atmas, their souls, their qalb, they will give you sharp. You will suffer narak. You will go to dozak. And these courts have exonerated you. It has no meaning for me. They may not have sufficient evidence. They may be prejudiced. They may be favoring you. But Allah, the God, Parmeshwar, वो तो इंसाफ करेगा. मैं आपके अंतःकरण को अपील करता हूं कि आपने जो गुनाह किए हैं उनको कबूल कीजिए, उसके लिए सजा मांगिए.
So what did Hafiz Saeed say in response to that pointer from you?
Oh yeah, he was stunned to listen this, and I thought the discussion will break down. But he kept on repeating, no, I have committed no crime. I said, UN's resolution is bogus. American government's declaration about on your head is bogus. The government of India has submitted so many reports. They are all bogus. He said, they are all right, but they are no evidence. They don't have any hard evidence.
Okay.
I said, there are many things which take place in world which have no evidence. But punishment is always
No, so let me
there.
ask you a direct question, Mr. Vaidik. On the back of this encounter with Hafiz Saeed, are you prepared to condemn him or have you come back a sympathizer?
No.
Because when you spoke this morning to journalists, when you spoke this morning to journalists, you are saying, I was told Hafiz Saeed works for the education of destitute children. Now you almost make it seem as if you think he's some sort of a saint.
No. Look here. I am a journalist. I don't behave like a judge. I don't behave like Arnav Goswami. I don't accuse people without any evidence. You know what he told me? I said, you are a criminal. You are an international criminal. He said, it may be your opinion. I said, what do you think of yourself? He said to me, I am running madrasas. I am helping the refugees. I am helping the widow women, widowers. I am doing so much of public service. खिदमत करता हूँ मैं. खिदमत में लगा हूँ मैं. मैंने कहा खिदमत आप करते होंगे, लेकिन हम आपको टेररिस्ट की तरह जानते हैं. पूरे हिंदुस्तान में आपकी बदनामी है.
Okay,
Or
you've
you are
had
the
your
most
say,
wanted man
Mr.
in
Ved
India.
Pratap Vaidik. We didn't interrupt. You've had your say. I want to now bring in our other participants, starting with Bhisham Mansukhani,
Please,
and I
go
must
ahead.
tell you, he is someone who's seen the 26/11 attacks from very close quarters, much more than anyone else.
Right.
You heard Mr. Vaidik.
right.
Does he convince you, Bhisham Mansukhani, with the explanation he's given about why, as a journalist, he went to meet Hafiz Saeed? You got 1 minute, Mr. Mansukhani. Your time starts now.
No, I didn't.
I sit here more disgusted than I was before I came to your studio. Mr. Vaidik has done nothing except abuse and disgrace the legacy of the martyrs and the dead of 26/11. This man has attempted on your show and in his meeting with Hafiz Saeed to rehabilitate Hafiz Saeed's position as not being a mass murderer but some sort of statesman. Mr. Vaidik is neither a good journalist and neither is he some sort of diplomat who represents India's interests. This man stands in shame. He has done nothing but shame this country today, and no matter what he hides behind words which are really like gas that stinks, this man and the man he works for, Baba Ramdev, need to be equivocally condemned and distanced by BJP, because this man has done a chai pe charcha with Hafiz Saeed, the man who is equivalent to Osama bin Laden for America. This man is India's most wanted. He has committed the most heinous terrorist crime in our modern history, and he has done nothing but rehabilitate Hafiz Saeed. And this man needs to hang his head in shame. Instead, he is coming on the show and justifying what he has done. He can start by saying sorry. I don't expect him to say that, because I've been listening to him very
Mr. Vaidik, 1 second. Allow our speakers to make their point without butting in. I think that's only fair. That's a courtesy we extend to you. That's a courtesy we expect from you. Bhisham Mansukhani raises a very important point. You must first let Bhisham complete. I'm coming back to you. I will give you an opportunity to respond. Yes, Bhisham.
Mr. Vaidik, Mr. Vaidik, you can start by apologizing by how indiscreet you were. There are transcripts of what you spoke about, discussing the number of wives he has and talking about other irrelevant matters. This wasn't the sort of interrogative, hardline story you should have done. There have been other brilliant journalists who have met Hafiz Saeed and done stories and exposed the entire truth about 26/11. You have done none of that. You have given Hafiz Saeed a public relations vehicle in which to rehabilitate himself in the world. The only place Hafiz Saeed belongs is in an Indian court of law, explaining and being tried for his crimes, and belongs for life.
Bhisham Mansukhani makes some very important points, Mr. Vaidik. You've insulted the memory of the martyrs of 26/11. You've given Hafiz Saeed a platform. The United States, the UN call him a global designated terrorist. By going and speaking to him, you've given him a platform and insulted the memory of our martyrs. Mr. Vaidik must respond.
It's very shameful.
What is?
Very shameful.
What is?
It's very shameful to ascribe this opinion to me. I had the gumption, I had the guts, I took the risk to go there in the den of that man and to tell him what crimes he committed against us. This gentleman who was trying to put shame on me, can he go and tell him openly? They all are afraid of meeting such people. I am not afraid of anybody.
You're saying Bhisham Mansukhani is afraid of meeting Hafiz Saeed. Maybe he doesn't want to meet Hafiz Saeed. Maybe what he's saying is he wants to see Hafiz Saeed brought to book. That's what Bhisham Mansukhani wants to see. That's what the rest of India wants to see, Mr. Vaidik.
Mr. Vaidik, where were you?
As a journalist.
Mr. Vaidik, where were you on the 26th of November 2008? You're not a journalist anymore.
I was in Delhi.
Yes, you were representing Baba Ramdev's interests. This was hardly some sort. This was the puff piece.
Do you know?
You were having tea.
So you do not know about me. You are making a statement.
Well, I don't need to go back into your history, sir. What you have done, why would you put on social media photographs of yourself having tea with Mr. Hafiz Saeed? This man is a criminal. This man is a war criminal.
You didn't hear my interview. All you are talking is bullshit.
That's besides the point.
You know, he offered tea to me and I simply
thank you for your language. I really appreciate the language you're using with someone who is victimized by Hafiz Saeed.
What are you talking?
It almost seems you don't seem to believe that Hafiz Saeed is even responsible for this crime anymore. You have spent the first 10 minutes of your time on this interview talking about and honoring Hafiz Saeed as some sort of social worker. You are in no way speaking for India's interests. You are not in any way representative of our view on Hafiz Saeed, and still you have gone and done that. You are garnering popularity, a very strange sort of popularity.
I want to bring in other speakers as well.
Is not an industry,
I want to be fair in the manner in which we allocate time. I want to go, Bisham, allow me to moderate. I want to go across to Sanjay Jha now. Sanjay, the question we're asking is, has Ved Pratap Vaidik convinced you with his explanation on why he met Hafiz Saeed? He says he's a journalist. He says he hasn't gone as Modi's envoy. The Modi government has distanced itself, saying he's a free agent. Do you buy this? If not, why? You've got 1 minute. Your time starts now, Sanjay.
Rahul, 26/11 was the most ghastly incident that we all saw, and a brutal bloodbath that I live in Mumbai that we experienced. Hafiz Saeed was the mastermind of that. And despite Mr. Vaidik having a long interview with him, the truth is that Mr. Hafiz Saeed day in and day out talks of a holy war against India with a mission to destroy this great country. Now, if anyone believes that over a 60-minute conversation he's going to thaw and bring about a change, that's absolutely absurd. He's an international terrorist, a dreaded terrorist, banned by the United States, and one of the most wanted men protected by Pakistan. He's actually threatened to do more Mumbai-like strikes in India. So I think Mr. Vaidik is clearly living in a fool's paradise if he believes that he's going to create a breakthrough through his own or through what appears to be some kind of a quasi-official approbation that has made him land in Lahore.
No, but let me ask you, because the Congress has been levelling this charge again and again, Sanjay, but where is the proof? You say he's acting at the behest of the BJP. You have not a shred of evidence to back that. How do you know that Modi or Ajit Doval sent him?
Well, Rahul, listen, you have to go by some very, very visible manifestations here. And let me give you a couple of instances. Mr. Vaidik, just give me one minute.
Mr. Vaidik, allow the others to speak.
You have a perceived proximity to the BJP based on the fact that you are a political aide of Baba Ramdev, who's extremely been in close cahoots with the BJP. He's been on the same stage. He's endorsed the Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi. He's campaigned for you. Now, to believe when you in your own interview,
you made that assertion. Let me put that question to Sambit Patra.
Where Mr.
Okay, you made that
point. I can talk to the Prime.
You've made that point. Sambit Patra, here's what the government must explain. Because we've got Yasin Malik also with us. And when Yasin Malik went and met Hafiz Saeed, the BJP was up in arms demanding that Yasin Malik be arrested. I've got comments from Prakash Javadekar, from Rajnath Singh, who's now a home minister, saying strict action should be taken against Yasin Malik. Why is he going and spending time with Hafiz Saeed? It's not acceptable. When Ved Pratap Vaidik, who's a key advisor of Baba Ramdev, does it, suddenly the BJP goes very soft. Why is the BJP not applying the same standard that it asked for when Yasin Malik went and met Hafiz Saeed, as it is in this case? You've got 1 minute. Your time starts now.
Rahul, first and foremost, BJP has no double standards. Let me begin by saying that I myself am not convinced with what Mr. Ved Prakash Vaidik right now on your show is saying. Secondly, BJP being in governance has to behave in a very mature way. BJP has categorically said that we have nothing to do with Shri Ved Prakash Vaidik. He is a journalist who is free to do what he does. As in the past also, number of senior journalists have interviewed Dawood Ibrahim, and probably government had not questioned as to whether journalists are allowed to go and have interviews or not. Thirdly and most importantly, yes, any journalist or any citizen of India, if he or she aids or abates terrorism on the ground of India and in the garb of interviewing terrorists, I believe that would be something sinister and the government would act. And I think this is something on which the government has to take a structured view. It cannot be immediate. It cannot be without any kind of investigation. So I believe the government has distanced itself from the whole scenario. Government had not sent any envoy. And ironically, if Manishankar Iyer and Salman Khurshid, if Manishankar Iyer and Salman Khurshid were the ones who were accompanying Mr. Ved Prakash Vaidik, I don't know as to how Mr. Sanjay Jha is asking us.
No, but there's a big difference. Sambit Patra, you're confusing viewers. There's a big difference. Neither Salman
Ridiculous
Khurshid
job.
nor Manishankar Iyer went and met India's most wanted terrorist, Ved Pratap Vaidik, who stayed back in Pakistan
That's
to do
the
so.
reason I want to
Questions
say,
will
if
be
an
asked about that. I want to go across now.
went with Congress people, eminent Congress persons in it, how can the Congress people themselves question?
No,
as
because
to
they
what
were
was
not
aim
involved
of
in the
going there?
deliberations with Hafiz
Somebody
Saeed, and that's the
barking
big
on the
difference.
wrong
I'm sorry,
tree.
your charge is completely unfounded and holds no ground. Yassin Malik, what do you make of the BJP's position tonight when they're saying it's okay for Ved Pratap Vaidik to meet with Hafiz Saeed, but they have a problem when Yassin Malik meets Hafiz Saeed? Mr. Malik.
I think BJP and RSS has a double standard on every issue. When it is the BJP who initiated dialogue process in Kashmir with Pakistan and the Kashmiri leadership, and also with the militant leadership, Hizbul Mujahideen. It was a government headed by Atal Bihari Vajpayee who initiated those initiatives. But it is unfortunate when another government came, they opposed all those moves which they have themselves initiated. Now, as far as this meeting is concerned, I am not against why he meet, though I know it very well. That is a part of track 2. He did not went there. Yes, he went there in the garb of as a journalist. But there is a track 2 going on between India and Pakistan. This person went there as the envoy of the Indian government, and he met him to know his mind. So this is a part of the track 2 going on between India and Pakistan.
Okay,
Now,
Sambit Patra must respond that the BJP is hypocritical, alleges Yassin Malik, and this is some sort of a track 2, or maybe, as one former Congress minister put it this morning to me, 1.5 track diplomacy that's taking place.
Rahul, first and foremost, I take objection that I have to debate. A National Party spokesperson has to debate with a person like Yassin Malik, and Yassin Malik of all in the world says that BJP and RSS are double standard people. I take an exception in the sense that Yassin Malik was aiding and abetting, helping Hafiz Saeed in his work, in the sense that he went, shared the dais, shared the hunger strike with Hafiz Saeed for the reason that Kashmir should be separate from India. And I feel today ashamed that I am sharing the same dais with Yassin Malik. So I would not answer any of the question that people like Yassin Malik put on your channel right now.
No, but that's exactly what Mr. Vaidik said. If we can just play out, I'm out of time on this debate.
Vaidik and
But
Yassin
Mr.
Malik are
Vaidik
separate
made a
issues.
comment on Kashmir as well. Well, suggesting a view on Kashmir which is very different from the view of the government. Anyway, Ved Pratap Vaidik has spoken, Bhisham Mansukhani has spoken, Sanjay Jha has spoken, Sambit Patra has spoken. It's time now for the final verdict. Can we have it up on our screen, please? Is the explanation by Ved Pratap Vaidik convincing? Has he convinced you? Wow, this is a very surprising result. But from the people who've posted, and I see a lot of posts coming in, 65% seem to be convinced with the explanation that Ved Pratap Vaidik has. 65% convinced, 35% on Twitter not convinced about Ved Pratap Vaidik's meeting with Hafiz Saeed. I don't wish to take sides. Folks who are watching on Twitter have spoken. You decide where you stand on this. Mr. Vaidik, I'm out of time, so you have only 10 seconds to complete. Completely out of time, sir.
एंकर महोदय, अगर आप मुझको बोलने देते तो 100% लोग मुझसे सहमत होते।
सबसे ज्यादा आप ही ने बोला, गेस्ट महोदय, सबसे ज्यादा आप ही ने बोला, बाकी गेस्ट से ज्यादा। But anyway, I don't wish to take a moral position on this. This is a question that our viewers need to decide on, and they've spoken. Bhisham Mansukhani, Sambit Patra, Sanjay Jha, and Ved Pratap Vaidik. Thank you very much. Bhisham wants to make a point. 10 seconds, Bhisham. We're out of time.
Yes, Mr. Vaidik, say sorry. And to Mr. Patra, your party has the golden opportunity to do what the Congress did not do, to have a firm and assertive policy on Pakistan. If you disavow Ramdev and Vaidik for what they have done, you will send a very strong message.
Okay.
I don't expect you to
Okay,
have
we're out of
justice
time.
delivered.
This is another debate which will go on forever. We need to slip into a break. News and updates continue. The Twitter results are in front of you. We'll see you tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m.